Hey y'all, it's Jeff Gray, Coach Jeff once again with Ask the Coach. If y'all are wondering what that is in the background, that's some cool jazz by Mr. Joe Henderson. It's called Freewheelin'. It's on the album Mode for Joe, excuse me. This is stuff I listen to when I'm trying to think, when you're trying to create stuff. This is good stuff here. Gotta thank my dad for showing me bebop and traditional jazz, so I don't have to deal with the stuff that the kids listen to now, which is crap. Anyway, here we are back. I know it's been a little while since I've been here, but things happen. Brothers get busy. Cut me some slack. Anyway, I came here specifically to tell you a story, something that happened to me recently, and it made me think about, how people see things and how people look at things. So I'm here to tell this story. Okay, last week I run into this guy at the gas station I go to all the time. I see him all the time, right? We fill up at the same time. So I ask him, how's it going? He says, oh, pretty good. He's a chef, or he's went to school to be a chef or a cook. He's had hard job finding a job. He told me he needs money, and boom, boom, boom. I say, well, how's the job search going? He says, well, oh, great. I found this job. It's not what he wants to do. He took a job washing dishes in a restaurant just so he could get some money coming in, and at least he's in a restaurant. And I was like, man, that's a good idea, because you're not going to be washing dishes for long. And I told him this story. When I was in college, I used to wait tables. And there was this one restaurant I wanted to work at, and they didn't hire me the first time I went in there because they said I didn't have the proper white linen 5-star experience or whatever. I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can sling hash with the best of them. My timing is great. I'm very personable. Let me in here. But they didn't want to let me in because, I wasn't referred by some other highfalutin waiter. You'd be surprised. In Atlanta at that time, waiting tables was like getting into Congress or something. Okay, so what I did was I asked the guy, do you need any busboys? He says, sure. Man, see, I knew this. Working in restaurants, you always need another busboy. So I said, look, I'll bus tables for you. I just need a job. So he says, okay. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I'm only going to bus for 2 days. Watch. Because here's the deal. Who's a better busboy than an ex-waiter, right? So the waiter stations who I had to help, who I had to handle, they told the manager, oh my God, that new busboy is great. It's almost like he knows what I need before I tell him. Yeah, duh, because I know what you need before you tell me. So anyway, I told him that story. It lasted 2 nights. And the third night I came into work, and one of the waiters had called in sick or something, and he had a station open. He said, look, if you can learn this menu in the next 30 minutes, you can have that station. I'll give you a shot. Long story short, I never went back to bussing tables. I handled my station like a champ. And that was it. I was a waiter from then on. That's also how I got into mortgages back in the day. I took a job as a telemarketer. And after 2 nights, just from the response that I had as a telemarketer, the guy put me on the phone to close. So anyway, back to my friend at the gas station. I'm telling him, I give it 2 days tops before you have an opportunity to show them what you can really do. And since you've already got your foot in the door, it'll be a pretty obvious thing for them just to go ahead and move you up to, the cook line, or, I don't know the terminology, prep line, sous chef, whatever it is that you do. Okay. He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So he started on Friday. This is just this past Friday. I talked to him on Saturday evening. I saw him again. Hey, how's the new job? He says, man, I got fired today. I'm like, what? You got fired today? You just started yesterday. He says, yeah. So here's what happened, right? He's washing dishes. The manager of the restaurant comes to him and says, hey, I want you to help me out on the prep line. Help these guys on the cook line. And he says to the manager, well, you're only paying me a certain amount of money an hour to wash dishes. So if you want me to do this other stuff, you're going to have to pay me more money. And I'm like, what? Dude, we talked about this. And I told you 2 days. And here it is, the second night. He gets an opportunity to show them what he can really do, and to possibly get his butt out of the dish pit, as he called it, and onto the cook line where he wants to be. Everything we talked about, the exact scenario I laid out in front of him. What did this dude do? He let his pride get in the way. And he ended up getting fired. And now he's got no job. And I told him, I said, the first thing you told me was that I know it's not what I'm supposed to be doing, what I want to be doing, but right now I just need to have some money coming in. And I said, and you had it, and also an opportunity to get where you did want to go, and you let pride get in the way. You put a couple dollars an hour between you and where you're trying to go, and you let that stop you? I was like, it would have only been for a couple hours, a few hours, et cetera, show them what you can do. Boom. Moral of the story, and I know my video is going long now. You never know sometimes when an opportunity may not look like an opportunity when you first see it. But you cannot consider everything based on your short-term goals. His short-term goals only lasted an hour. He was talking about $2 or $3 or $4 an hour that he wasn't getting. $2 or $3 or $4, right? His long-term goals to get a job with the restaurant where he could move up through the ranks, be a valuable member of the kitchen staff, move up through the ranks, cook, become a chef, head chef, whatever. His long-term goals, he just tossed those away because his short-term goals at $2 or $3 an hour weren't being met. So when you see an opportunity, opportunities don't always look like opportunities when you see them, but when something comes up and you have a crossroads or decision to make, whether it be in your work life, your family life, or just your business, you know me, your online business, that's my main thing. Look at it for what it is and don't consider it based against your short-term goals so much as consider whether or not this particular situation can fit into my long-term goals. And if it does, then put your short-term goal aside and go get what you need. Fair enough? All right, that's it. That's all I got. Coach Jeff, Ask the Coach. I'm glad to my new audience to see you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon. All right? Bye-bye. Where's the end button? There it is.